Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the video lecture series of Art and Culture on UPSC Explained YouTube channel. Today we are going to see the chapter 3 of Fine Arts NCERT, Arts of Mauryan Period. Previously we have seen the art of prehistoric period and art and architecture of Indus Valley Civilization. Now we are moving to the 6th century BCE. 6th century BCE saw a beginning of new religious and social movement in Gangetic Plain. It saw the emergence of Shraman tradition, which included Buddhism and Jainism. The emergence of Buddhism and Jainism uh, was popular among the people, especially uh, who were in lower strata of social stratification, because Buddhism and Jainism opposed Varna and Jati system. During the later Vedic period, Varna and Jati system became exploitative and discriminatory. Vedic and later Vedic period also saw dominance of Brahmanism. Emergence of Mahajanpadas, we saw strong Kshatriya rulers emerging and consolidating and creating a big kingdom. These Kshatriya rulers were opposing Brahman domination. Hence they patronized Shraman tradition. So during this period we see different uh, rulers patronizing Buddhism and Jainism because it opposed the Brahmanical system. During the 3rd century BCE, large part of India were under Maurya dynasty. Asoka was the most powerful and he also patronized Shraman tradition. During this period, a multiple form of worship existed like Yaksha, Yakshini, Mother Goddess worship, etc. But Buddhism became most popular social and religious movement. Even Yaksha worship later assimilated in Buddhism and Jainism itself. So this change in the social and religious form in this period had an impact on art and architecture of that period. The architecture and art clearly shows the religious influence on it, like the emergence of chaitya, viharas, stupas, etc. This this period saw the strong rulers and big kingdom. So emergence of court art also started in this time. Previously, the art and architecture were created by the uh, common people for their recreational activity or for their own utilization. But uh, from Mauryan time, we see the bifurcation in the art form also. So, Mauryan art can be divided in two parts, court art and popular art. Court art are like palaces, pillars, stupas, etc., which were created by the uh, rulers, and the popular art were uh, created by common people like rock cut caves, sculptures, potteries, etc. So let us see these art forms one by one. Palaces. Mauryans were the first powerful empire in the country. So creation of palaces showed symbolic representation of power. In this time, the palaces were made of generally wood. We have two examples of palaces from Mauryan period. One is Chandragupta's palace, which is found in Patliputra, and another is Ashokan palace, which was found in Kumrahar. Kumrahar palace is a three-story massive structure. The unique feature of these palaces were that they were made of wood. Second important uh, art form is pillars. The creation of pillar tradition is as old as Achaemenid Empire. Even Mauryan pillars are also inspired by Achaemenid Empire pillars, but they differ in the construction style. Mauryan pillars are rock cut pillars. They are single piece, a monolith. But the Achaemenid pillar, they were constructed in pieces and then cemented together. A components of a pillar is generally a shaft, an abacus with stylized lotuses, and animal capital. Few important sites of Mauryan pillars are Basara Bakhira, Lauria Nandangarh, Rampurva, Sankisa, Sarnath, etc. Example of pillars is lion capital of Sarnath pillar. This lion capital is also national emblem of our country. The capital of this pillar has four voluminous roaring lions. The abacus has horse, bull, lion, elephant, and a chakra. This symbolizes Dharma Chakra Pravartan, the first sermon of Buddha. The third important art form is sculptures. We have found many sculptures of Yaksha, Yakshini, and different animals. These sculptures mainly were found in Patna, Vidisha, and Mathura. These sculptures has uh, common features like mostly they are in standing position. The distinguishing feature of these sculptures are their polished surface. The polished surface gives a glossy look to the sculpture and it shows the artistic ability of the artisan. Depiction of faces is in full round with pronounced cheeks and physiognomic details. This shows the sensitivity towards depicting human physique. The most common and important example of sculptures of Mauryan period is Yakshini figure from Didarganj, Patna. At the end of this video, we have attached the image of Yakshini from Didarganj, which is given in NCERT. Another rock cut sculpture of an elephant is found in Dhauli, Odisha. The fourth architecture is rock cut caves. Rock cut caves uh, in this period is found in Barabar Hills, Gaya, Bihar, also known as Lomas Rishi Cave. The entrance of this cave is semicircular Chaitya arc. The interior hall of the cave is rectangular with a circular chamber at the back. This cave was patronized by Asoka for Ajivika sect. This is an isolated example of this period. Later on, different rock cut caves have been found for Buddhist monks and Jain people. Another important architecture of this period is stupa. Stupa and vihara were constructed on large scale due to popularity of Buddhism and Jainism. Stupa were constructed over the relics of Buddha. The sites of stupa found in this period are Rajgara, Vaisali, Kapilvastu, Alakappa, Ramagrama, Vethadipa, Pava, Kushinagar, etc. Even textual evidence of stupa has been found in Avanti and Gandhara. These are outside Gangetic Valley. Examples of stupa in this period is Bairat in Rajasthan. It is a grand stupa having a circular mound and a circumambulatory path. The second example is the Great Stupa of Sanchi. It was built with bricks during Asokan time. Later it was covered by stone and other new additions were made. The detailed structure of stupa will be covered in the next chapter. During 2nd century BC, many inscriptional evidences are also found in the stupas. These inscriptions generally mentions the donors and their profession. It has been found that the patronage has been majorly collective one. The patrons were from devotees to kings and even different guilds also contributed for the development or creation of these stupas. The mention of artisan's name is not commonly found in different inscriptions, but the exception is in Pitalkhora and Kondane. The method of working was also collective in nature. That means people uh, participated from different sections to provide their labor for the construction of stupa. In Mauryan period, the stupa was made not in a decorative sense, but in later period of time, different enhancements were made. These enhancements are like enclosing the circumambulatory path by railings, sculptural decoration, addition of gateways like toranas. These gateways and railings gave ample space for artisans to carve out different images and sculptures. So, what were the themes of different decorative items on the stupa? We have seen that the early phases of Buddhism, the symbolic representation was through footprints, stupas, lotus throne, chakra, etc. This symbolic representation indicates that the form of worship was either simple, or it was for paying respect, or it was historicization of life events of Buddha. But in later period of time, the narrative became part of Buddhist tradition. So the emergence of Jataka stories came, where the events from the life of Buddha were depicted on railings and toranas of stupa. The narrative uh, were of three types: synoptic, continuous, and episodic. Synoptic uh, narratives were similar to the snapshot of an event. The continuous narratives was the different snapshot of an event linked in a single frame, and in episodic narrative, a small episode of an event was depicted by Jataka stories. The Jataka theme depicts birth, renunciation, enlightenment, dharma chakra pravartan, mahaparinirvana, etc. Important Jataka examples are Chhadant, Vidur Pandita, Ruru, Sibi, Vesantara, and Shama Jataka. These names are not important, but we should know these uh, these names belong to the Jataka example. The last art form is a pottery. The Mauryan time pottery was also known as the northern black polished ware. These were black painted pottery and highly lustrous finish. These pottery were used as a luxury item. It is the highest level of pottery. So with this we have seen the art and architecture of Mauryan period. Uh, these all architectures have evolved during the later Mauryan and Gupta period, which we will be seeing in the upcoming chapters. I will request you all to please go through the images of NCERT for Mauryan period. It will help you to remember things. We have attached two images of one of Yakshini of Didarganj. This image shows the artistic ability of that period, who created a human-like image with so much intricacies. And the other image is lion capital of Sarnath, which is also our national emblem. See, in this capital, the we can see the animal four roaring lions, and in abacus we can see a galloping horse, a bull. In the other side we have a lion and an elephant, and the chakra. This abacus is placed on an inverted stylized lotus. So with this we come to an end of this chapter, chapter 3 of Fine Arts NCERT. I hope you liked this video. If you liked this explanation, please subscribe to this channel. We will be coming up with the next video in 1 or 2 days. Thank you.